KRM Beachox 5521 022 City. We have conversation here, quite simple, quite clear. Let's suppose that we had an event on 2020 and we are having the conversation, the same conversation that we are having at this current time about the corruption by misuse of institutional prerogative, and we set an interval at 72 hours, considering the risk as a situation very uncomfortable in that period at that time, 2020. And let's suppose that we consider review this and research by the kind of event as a big, explosion or something like this could threat anyone in any area. And we had an entire research made based on this kind of threat. We violated all the time. And when we are setting a control model, considering a conversation that we had with the top level IBM and top level government Trump, Mr. Donald Trump administration with the State Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the CIA, the NATO, and I think that the International Criminal Court and the Interpol, led by Mr. Jürgen Stock at that time, plus OECD, plus the level as compliance and governance on IBM, we consider that the quantum research will be more effective made if we had a concurrent field of interest. And this concurrent field of interest sometimes goes inside an area that is having the development of an industrial project or portfolio or whatever. When you cross this line as something development like this at my private space, you did so much mistakes, and when you kept these despite all advices, words, you are unfortunately acting in a systematic way. If you consider have the login of my Google account, those are times since the very first complaint and the very first kickoff as the prospection of this industrial project that you deny it at the local police department, Rio de Janeiro state, you consider a big bullshit. You must assume this. In the entire system of justice and a lot of things, including the academic area, since the systemic crime research got published, because it's against things that have been gone by misuse of institutional prerogative and empowerment, running a clandestine system, and this threats the entire global system, even in a diffuse area as a consumer, individualized as myself inside the communication service. This discrimination on Article 3, Item 3, allowed me to claim the 33 trillion compensation by the Article 3, Item 12. I can complain with you because I did and I suffered so much aggressions, abuses, and violations that I offered the entire portfolio as self-defense to the NATO, and we use this maybe to have my application at the Nissan South America's General Officer, raising and reviewing the clause of the Second Great World War and allow them to have a strategic line as self-defense. But this strategic line as self-defense doesn't mean or imply something made in an active way. Can be a passive thing by albeit named role play or simulation. And one more time, you put yourself very concerned with the research to understand how the Liban event had gone. It's very recommended to our international authorities and no interest that this research have the kick-off another line of research investigation in an international way based on the location exposed at the block risk report 2022 trace february.blogspot.com 55S, take a look at the board, 55S national state, 021 as federative unit, 22 as the seat zip code area, 20,000, 28,009, 20, 28,990, trace 000. And we must, consider, suggest this to you now in Portuguese. Very simple, very, fast. Felizmente, as coisas aí estão evidenciando o valor do meu trabalho acadêmico independente, rejeitado, desconsiderado. E esse valor com aplicação industrial dentro da minha gravitação privada e esfera íntima, da construção dos meus pensamentos, com aplicação na minha profissão, que é administrador, você violou praticamente todas as minhas garantias. E quando tem acesso indevido à minha personalidade, a sete coisas, além de tudo, meus direitos civis. Você não pode esperar uma consequência menor do que está tendo, né? Felizmente, é isso aí. Você cometeu um crime industrial, integrado no sistema de corrupção, reclamado aí várias vezes, muito triste, de forma sistemática, provada pela anualidade do orçamento, uma série de coisas, e infelizmente é isso aí. Vocês possivelmente estão sofrendo aí uma incidência internacional, intervenção, e quando você tem um evento anterior que aponta uma série de coisas, você se preocupa com isso, em vez de cooperar, mais uma vez atrapalhando, não sei, acho que você está numa situação um pouco complicada, tá? Boa semana.